Hello again, everybody. Cliff McWilliams with Corporatist Nation, and continuing on with the topic of the last week or so, more acutely in your face now, I'm going to discuss censorship. Of course, if you're in the game, you understand that when you watch CNN and MSNBC, even Fox News for that matter, you're not going to get objective news. Well, in the news lately, we've had quite a lot of issues about Hunter Biden, for example, but of course Joe has denied strenuously his knowledge of Hunter Biden's dealings, and they are international in nature, as I think most of us have heard. Ukraine, energy industry with Burisma, for a guy who, I can tell you right now, I probably know more about the energy industry than Hunter Biden ever could. Millions, $83,000 a month on the board of Burisma. But the real story here is it's China, and of course Joe is widely seen as noting China to be really not any kind of a problem. Of course, he was involved with NAFTA, as you'll recall. But really, in the near term, we see much more in the way of the peddling of influence, and it's being disparaged strenuously again by establishment media, certainly the establishment Democratic Party, and of course, when it comes to corporate contributions, I mean, our political system, that is the sepsis that is our political system. As a candidate, I certainly was given the offer. If you're willing to work with, play ball with the pharmaceutical industry, we'll get you all the contributions you need. That was said to me back in 2006 when I was a nominee for U.S. House. So you don't really need to hear much more than that. But now, here we go with Joe Biden denying that he has any knowledge of Hunter Biden's situations, so to speak. Now, I'll do credit here. I'm going to play a little piece that I found today on the internet with Steve Bannon. And of course, I know my Democratic friends will attack the messenger, but when you got it recorded, there isn't much denying to be done, right? So I'm going to play that for you here. Hunter Biden complaining about, just listen to it and see what you think, with his father being involved in this, not taped, but referring to his father in this tape directly.
I get calls from my father to tell me that the New York Times is calling, but my old partner Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is the one taking the calls because my father will not stop sending the calls to Eric.
47-year career here.
New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Go, the fucking spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing, who was my partner. He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the fucking largest fucking LNG port in the world. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me. in a criminal case and my father without telling me?
Okay, there you have it. Now, Tony Boblinski, who was a partner in some of these dealings, is going to be interviewed on Tucker Carlson tonight. If you're going to be objective about this, you have to overlook who is doing the talking and the interviewing on these things. We saw Leslie Stahl interviewing President Trump the other night. Well, the best version of that was watching the unedited version of how Leslie Stahl was kind of, well, being very discreet in her use of language, wordsmithing on a fine edge, that of course does not tell the whole truth. That's a whole nother video altogether, but what I'm going to say here is thank you, Steve Bannon. Thank you for the people who have worked to bring this information to the fro here right before the election. Might have even been better if it was, say, a couple of weeks earlier. But I think some people are going to be regretting their votes for Joe Biden here. And, well, let's just see where this goes. But money in politics, controlled mass media, that is the genesis of the corporatist nation. We don't have a democracy. We have a political system that is fueled by money and that is, it just does not comport with free and fair elections. Ranked choice voting should be number one on our list if we want to restore democracy to America. And that holds true whether you're on one side of the spectrum or the other. Let's see if we can do that. Take the corporate money out of politics here once and for all and elect some good people. So what happens going forward? Let's hope everything going forward after this election is concluded as it should be, with some kind of peaceful transfer of power. And let's hope the people who are elected, progressives especially, don't take the path of Bernie Sanders and bend to, in order to retain their membership in that big club that we ain't in, a la George Carlin, and instead stand up, be courageous, and call out people like Nancy Pelosi, who, $100 million. I mean, the corruption is mind-boggling. She didn't start out with $100 million, getting insider stock deals. And, like I said at the outset here, if I was willing to work with, play ball with the pharmaceutical industry as a healthcare professional, then I would have been accorded all the contributions that I needed. And that was a guy by the name of Ken Freeman, Washington, D.C., big pharma lobbyist. So, I'm sorry. That's just the truth, and that's how it goes. So, let's see if we can change things. It's not going to happen overnight, but free and fair elections are something that we should strive for. And, let's have free and fair and open information. The controlled mass media is a huge problem in America, and that is a component of a fascist state. So, thank you very much. Cliff McWilliams here with Corporatist Nation, because, that's all we got right now.